It's now 7:01 p.m. I believe today is November 28th, 2017. Welcome to our regularly scheduled council meeting where we conduct business. Like we always say, it is your business to always make the business of North Miami your business. Did I say it right? We'll begin with the call to order by our Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Joseph.
Here.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Here.
Councilwoman Keys.
Here.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yeah.
Councilman Desime.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with Michael, the Sergeant. Michael, is it Gaudio or Godio? Gaudio. Gaudio, from our North Miami PD. Thank you very much. Will you lead us with Pledge of Allegiance?
Everybody please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, officer. If you don't mind, please remain standing while we invite Reverend Fritzner Belons from Holy Family Church to lead us in invocation. Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as a group, nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect our citizens in North Miami. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth and for the greater glory of you, and for the service of our humanity. Bless this meeting with your divine intelligence. Help us to make the best use of our own. We are of a diverse opinion here, yet we wish to mend our differences, reach agreement satisfactory to all. Bless us and guide us, and we ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Father. We'll continue with the next order of business, which is the time where we ask the manager if we have any additions, deletions, or amendment to the agenda, so we may proceed.
I have no modifications tonight, sir.
No modifications, so Mr. Attorney, it is my understanding that the agenda is now set and we may.
Yes, Mayor, the agenda is set and we may proceed.
Thank you very much. Next will be, we have to go down for a few, I think just for 2 or 1 special presentation. Go Pioneers! Any Pioneers in the house? Well, this is a very dear moment to us, city of North Miami. Even in the wake of, many discussions about football and, the different, issues, national issues, local issues, and so forth. And I don't even want to mention concussion. And you guys are all familiar with it now, especially with the movie and so forth. But this is still a sport that is very American, and that really keeps our kids, our youngsters busy. But for you guys to have gone thus far to the finals, be the district champions of 2016-17 or 17-18, and kudos to you guys, to the staff, the training staff, the coaches and so forth. I know it is not an easy task. Competition is not an easy thing, but you guys actually grabbed the bull by its horn. And who's the quarterback?
We have 2. One could not make it.
One could not make it? So how many touchdowns did you throw? Huh? You threw so many? Huh? Touchdown passes? Like 97? I did 99. So you graduated from North Miami, right? North Miami as well? Oh. See, I can't take too much credit. I graduated from Haiti High. So, yeah, my son actually played. He's in ninth grade now. He was doing running back, and defensive back. But this year he's kind of, because of all these concussion things going on and everything, so he's kind of chickened out. He said, "Daddy, let me just think about it a little bit more." So, but I'm going to yield to either one of you two, or well, you three, to do the presentation. Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As a pioneer, and I know I have three other colleagues who are pioneers as well, Councilman Galvin, Councilwoman Keys, and our city clerk, Mike Wei-Chen, and although the deputy is a pioneer, we're gonna put him as an honorary pioneer. I know his brother I went to school with, but I am extremely proud of these young men. I hosted a Thanksgiving Day luncheon for them at North Miami Senior High School, and I spoke to the coach, and I just wanted to recognize them. And as a city, and I think the mayor says it best, we truly, truly appreciate all the efforts that you do. And this is just a little token from the city to the North Miami, to our North Miami Pioneer family. This recognition recognized the North Miami Pioneer Velocity football team in honor of your 2017 district championship. The city of North Miami recognized the North Miami Velocity football team 2017 district championship for its triumph this football season. Your sportsmanship, attitude towards perseverance, and needed to be applauded. May you continue to be a beacon of hope throughout this community for the team and for your fellow path. Again, this is presented to you by our wonderful mayor and on behalf of the city council. Thank you. Coach, we know Coach Colin, and would you guys please stand up? The entire team, please stand up and let folks know.
I wasn't quite prepared for this, but obviously this is a tremendous honor. I really appreciate the city for recognizing us for this tremendous accomplishment. Our guys worked so hard this season, and we went through a lot of adversity, so it really showed the gut and the spirit of this team, you know. And so I'm very proud of the coaching staff. But most importantly, we can't do this without the players and those kids. They stuck through it the entire time, the entire way. So kudos to them. And this is something that we know will be an ongoing deal. So I'll see you next year too.
We should all stand here. We should stand here and take a picture at an angle. No, we would like to see you in the back. Yeah, but yeah. Come on up, guys.
Come on up.
The local.
So I guess
Okay. No. Lastly, on the behalf, no, get the rest of them. Bring the rest of them. On the behalf of the administrators, everyone involved, the coaches, and the players, we have a small token. You know, it's a wardrobe, so sometimes we don't always get wardrobes right, but we have one of our futuristic district champions T-shirts for the mayor and all the council members, just as a token of appreciation.
Extra small. Okay. Well, just a quick announcement to the players. The city of North Miami, as you know, has different programs for the youth. We even offer community services and especially summer program. What's the summer program name again?
Which one?
This-
Leadership.
Yeah. YOB. We have the YOB program where you come and work, with the Department of Parks and Recreation. Oh no, not just Parks and Rec. I mean, different department they send you, and we have internship. You're here, and as a city, as a local government, it is our duty to engage you and to embrace you in whatever that you do. And again, congratulations. Check with our Department of Office of the Manager for anything that you want to do in the city as far as volunteering, internship, and so forth. Thank you. And we will continue with the program. And again, Father Belons, thank you very much for coming. It's always good to see you. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the gala, but it wasn't because. Huh? They told me there was something. There was something. That was Thanksgiving.
The gala is for the 9th.
So you're still holding me for the. Yeah. Okay. And I will try. But the 9th we have. Don't we have something here on the 9th? Yeah. So
That's the time of the gala.
if you see me rolling there with my eyes half open, that's because I was here.
This is when? The 9th?
From what time to what time?
Well, the Brewfest is, I think, I don't know,
3 to 6?
4 to 8 or 4 to 9.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Special, we did that city event announcement by our PIO.
It's okay. Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and North Miami neighbors and guests. I'm Unicia Baker, Senior Public Information Officer, and it's my pleasure to share some of our city's upcoming events and programs for this holiday season. Celebrate the start of the holiday season at our annual tree lighting ceremony in Mocha Plaza. Enjoy live music, festive refreshments, real snow, and a special visit from Santa Claus himself during Light Up North Miami on Wednesday, November 29th at 6:30 p.m. Councilwoman Carol Keys will host a citizenship drive and information session for residents of North Miami, where they will be given resources to guide them through the naturalization process. Come learn about your eligibility for U.S. citizenship at the information session on Thursday, November 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and the citizenship drive on Saturday, December 2nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Both events will take place at the Griffin Community Center. Calling all book lovers. The annual book sale hosted by the Friends of the North Miami Public Library begins on Friday, December 1st through Sunday, December 3rd. Bookworms will feel the tremendous bargains in rare books, first editions, autographed copies, collectibles, and more for as low as 50 cents a piece. Speaking of the North Miami Public Library, effective Friday, December 1st, the library's hours of operations will change to Monday through Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., giving library patrons an additional 8 hours of service each week. The men and women of the North Miami Police Department are currently collecting unwrapped toys for the Police Athletic League of North Miami's annual holiday toy drive. PAL of North Miami invites the whole community to join them in making the holiday season bright for local families in need. Drop off your donations in the NMPD lobby by Wednesday, December 13th. You're invited to partner with your neighbors and city officials at the next Keep North Miami Beautiful community cleanup event. The District 3 cleanup takes place on Saturday, December 2nd at 9 a.m. The meeting site is NMPD. On Saturday, December 9th, the District 4 cleanup will take place, and it also starts at 9 a.m. at the Judson Center. To join our team of volunteers, register at northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. Councilman Philippe Bien-Aimé is leading this initiative in the city of North Miami as part of the Keep North Miami Beautiful campaign. Targeted areas throughout the city will be identified by the Parks and Recreations team as well as the Public Works Department. Stay tuned for updates on cleanup events throughout all districts of North Miami. Post-hurricane community beautification will begin in North Miami on Monday, December 4th in District 3 with assistance from North Miami's Parks and Recreation Department crew of nearly 30 North Miami residents hired as temporary workers through a joint recruitment process facilitated by the city and CareerSource. This crew is tasked with cleaning rights-of-way and tree stump removal. The workers will continue this project in all North Miami districts. The project is made possible by the Disaster Workforce Grant funded by the South Florida Workforce Investment Board. Kick off Art Basel Week at the opening reception for How to Unlock a Portal by Jacob Fellender on Wednesday, December 6th at the Museum of Contemporary Art, or MoCA. Admission is $30. MoCA members, North Miami residents, and Art Basel VIP are free. Friday, December 8th, North Miami's Mayor, Dr. Smith Joseph, will host a reception to kick off the 2017 North Miami Brew Fest in the MoCA Courtyard at 6 p.m. Brew Fest is set for Saturday, December 9th in MoCA Plaza from noon to 4 p.m. North Miami Brew Fest is a one-day event featuring several top-rated craft breweries and one-of-a-kind beers. Its mission is to help continue to influence brewing science, education, and innovation. This event is presented in partnership with Florida International University. The next Getting Gear Community Bike Ride Wellness Initiative is set for Saturday, December 9th, with registration beginning at 8 a.m. Hosted by the NMPD and the City of North Miami's Park and Recreation Department, the 10-mile group bike ride starts and ends at MoCA Plaza. It includes stops at the NOMI Library and Subway on Northeast 125th Street at 9th Avenue. This event takes place the second Saturday of each month. Inquiries may be forwarded to the Office of the Mayor and Council. How would you react if faced with an active shooter scenario? Monday, December 11th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Joe Celestine Center, the City of North Miami's Emergency Management Division invites members of the public to an active shooter survival techniques training. For more information, contact the Office of Emergency Management. The City of North Miami wants to connect with you. Stay up to date with the latest happenings in our city by first visiting www.northmiamifl.gov, then clicking the Connect with NOMI icon on the homepage, where you can sign up to receive our informative monthly newsletter. You may also tune into our free governmental programming on NOMI TV, available 24 hours a day through the city's website. Residents may also like the City of North Miami on Facebook, follow @NOMI News on Twitter, and download the My NOMI app. This concludes our event announcements. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Baker. We'd like to recognize Fred George Seraphin in our midst this evening, so we are blessed, but we shall not be judged. Also, I believe former mayor, is it Eastland or Island? Eastland, Salomon. He is now also with us, former mayor of El Portal. Thank you very much for your presence. I believe that's it. If there are any other elected officials in the audience, please welcome. Next item on the agenda, we are out of the hurricane season, right?
Thursday.
Thursday. Well, we out. We out. Bye-bye, Irma. Now I believe we need a motion for the consent agenda.
Second. Have a motion made by Councilman Desmay to approve the consent agenda. That motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with a 5-0 vote. Tab C. Proposed resolution.
I'm
of the
sorry, Mr. Clerk. I was given also a late news to, it's not a good one, it's a sad one actually. It's the passing of the son of an elected official, the commissioner of Broward County. The son of Commissioner Holness. And just wanted to take a little time to reflect on that. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk.
Tab C. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the execution of a memorandum of understanding agreement between the city of North Miami and the school board of Miami-Dade County to provide for the placement of school-based law enforcement officers in Miami-Dade County public school sites and providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. It's tab C.
Through the mayor. Very quickly, Mayor, sorry. This item actually should have been added to the consent agenda, but this is one of our typical mutual aid agreements that we enter into with all other law enforcement jurisdictions, and we're doing one with the school board to provide that same mutual aid with the school board police officers and our police officers. So we'll ask for your support.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I understand it should have been in the consent agenda, but since it is not, just for formality, I have to open public hearing on the item. I see no one coming to the mic, so public hearing is now closed on the item.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys to approve tab C. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab D, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of City of North Miami, Florida, approving the city administration's selection of Cardinal Contractors, Inc. to perform the Winston Water Treatment Plant Filter Rehabilitation Project. Further, authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement to complete the project in an amount not to exceed $4,442,000 in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in invitation for bids number 30-16-17, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Mr. Manager?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Good evening. Alberto Estrade, Purchasing Director. The item that you have before you is the result of a bid solicitation that was issued by the Purchasing Department on July 20th, 2017. What you have before you is the results of this solicitation. There were 3 responses that were received, and the lowest responsive and responsible bidder is the company that you have before you for award, Cardinal Contractors, for an amount of $4,442,000. This project is but the first phase of a series of other projects that you will be seeing for the overall improvement of the city's water treatment plant. As you know, the water treatment plant for the city has been selected and awarded on numerous occasions. Most recently, they were selected as the best tasting water in the state of Florida. And so this is an effort to ensure that the city's water that it provides to its residents ensures to have the same level of quality. I also want to add that this project is also eligible for funding by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the State Revolving Fund. So most of these monies that you see in this award is actually going to be reimbursed through that state revolving fund. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
When you say most, exactly how much?
Well, in our most recent discussion with the representatives from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, approximately about $3,800,000, I believe, is going to be eligible for this state revolving fund.
Okay, so we have to hear the public on it, so let's open it to public hearing, unless you have something to add, Mr. Manager? No?
No, sir.
Okay, let's open it to the public. So anyone who wishes to be heard on this item, is it D or E? Item D, Item David. We'll get to Goliath later on. No one wants to talk on a $4 million contract? God bless America and not Miami. Public hearing is now closed.
Mr. Mayor, if you may, I don't know if any of my colleagues will. Go ahead. Okay. You want to go? Okay.
No, you can go.
Yeah, I do have some questions in reference to this. I don't really like, well, I haven't met with the manager about this or the purchasing director. Something this large, especially in the middle of my district, I wish I would had some prior notice. I just saw that it was going to be on the agenda on Tuesday, on Thursday. So I did review it and have some questions. I'm not too comfortable. I don't know if I'm really going to support it tonight because I really hope, Mr. Manager, with these type of legislation that's this amount, that you sit down with us and we understand the scope. I had some residents that was asking me questions and I couldn't answer the question. I haven't even been at the water plant, which I've asked administration if they would take me months ago. So let alone that, with something being 4 million. The bid that you put out, sir, it was a $2.6 million bid. Is that correct? The estimated price. So how did we get from that and the lowest being 4 point whatever million?
Well, as a point of clarification, Councilman Dasulme,
Yes, sir.
the number that you see there in the original solicitation was actually amended later because there was an amount, a significant amount that was added for the city to purchase water during a period of time of this construction. This construction is going to take approximately a year. And during that period of time, the city is going to have to purchase water to ensure that there's enough capacity to provide the residents. So there is an amount that has been amended and has been added to this, which is roughly approximately about $1.2 million. So the city can continue to purchase water and ensure that there's sufficient capacity. So roughly, if you do the math, it roughly takes you to about the $3.8 million, which I mentioned earlier, that the state fund will be reimbursing us.
Okay, so my question would be, did staff miscalculate the 1.2 million?
No,
Yeah,
it's-
whichever the
right.
amount, yes,
1.6.
1.6.
Right,
Which,
no, it's not a miscalculation. It's just
Okay.
simply something that was realized after we issued the solicitation that it was going to be necessary to add this amount simply for the purchase of water, and roughly about $1.2 million, once again, to ensure capacity for the city during this period of time. It's going to take approximately about a year for this project.
I understand, sir, but my question again, if you realize that after you put it out, did you know before or did you realize after? Or I'm just trying to get to a yes or no, yes, we made a mistake, or whatever, because someone, that was their particular question and I couldn't answer them, and I said I needed to bring it up to you guys to, what happened here?
I see, Mr. Director, you stepped
Yes, sir.
forward. Did you want to clarify that, or?
Sure. Through the city manager, Whistler Pierre Lewis, Public Works Director. When we put out the bid, there was an estimated dollar amount that was specifically for the actual filter rehab. In discussions with the state regarding the loan that they were offering, they advised us that we can include the water purchases, which happened after we put out the bid. There was an addendum that corrected that or let the contractors know that those water purchases would be included. Therefore, you have the change in the overall project cost.
So it's going to be less than 4.4 million? That's what you're saying? I'm sorry. I just.
it's right, because I'm still confused.
Let me see if I can clarify it. You have the filtration project, which is the actual construction work. In their discussion with the state in getting this reimbursement, they realized that the water purchase that we would need to do while the filtration system is down in order to serve the public with water was eligible to be reimbursed from the state. So they added that amount to the cost of this overall contract. So it wasn't, we knew we were gonna have to purchase the water the entire time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we knew we had
So-
to purchase the water, but when they found out it was gonna be eligible for reimbursement, they amended the RFP to add that to
Okay,
the
so-
cost of the water purchase.
Mr. Manager, so we talked to the state after we issued the RFP, not prior. That's what it seems like.
Yes.
Okay, so again, obviously, is that good practice or?
Well, keep in mind that we've gone to the state revolving fund way ahead of time, and we've received allocation for in excess of $25 million. At the last meeting, if you recall, you actually approved us going to apply to the state for a drawdown against that allocation. So we've been in contact with the state the entire time. I think this was just a clarification, and actually a good clarification on behalf of the city.
Okay, I'm fine, Mr. Mayor. But
And
I have a
Councilwoman,
question,
Councilwoman,
and
do you want to yield to your?
and clarification. You said the money will be qualified for reimbursement. The money is qualified. What do you mean reimbursement? Because the revolving fund is a loan that the city acquire at a low interest rate. That's mean you're gonna withdraw the money from that loan, right? It's not a grant. Is it correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Secondly, you said you had 3 response, and this one was the lowest responsive bidder. Did we change that language, Mr. City Attorney, instead of lower bidder to the most competitive, whatever?
Not, that wouldn't apply here. That was only for piggyback contracts, sir.
Or you change it only for piggyback?
Only piggyback. That only affect the piggyback contract.
Oh, okay, okay. It's still in effect for RFP putting out?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
If our bid was 2,600,000 and we need another 1,600,000 for water purchase, why are we purchasing the water from the bidder?
No,
Because they come in at a bid price of 4,442,000. Shouldn't this be broken down into 2 amounts, that we would be approving 4,400,000, but a bid of 2,600,000 and purchase of water for 1,600,000?
well, no, to be clear, Councilwoman, the amount of the water purchase is $1,225,000.
Why are we paying the bidder?
Well, again, to follow up on what the city manager had said, during our discussions with the state, they informed us that if we included this and added this to the bid, and we did so by an addendum, that it would be eligible for coverage under the state revolving fund. Had they not done that, and through the efforts of our public works director and our consultants, then that money would have simply been paid directly from the city funds, as opposed to being eligible for this state revolving fund. I think that's a win, and it's a benefit for the city. This did come about, they informed us after the solicitation was issued, so simply we added this by means of an addendum to the contract. So you simply back that out, 1.225 from this contract, and that is really the actual amount of the construction work.
So we're gonna buy water, we're actually gonna purchase water from our bidder, and is that 1.2 that they've come up with a competitive price for water?
No.
Through the manager, it's actually a direct water purchase. The 1.2 will be removed from the contractor's contract through the state's loan, and we will continue to purchase the water directly from Miami-Dade as we have to. There's no water purchased from the contractor, it's purchased from Miami-Dade. They provide us with water already.
But the bid says 4.4, so are we allowed to do that?
Yes, we're allowed to do that.
Mr. Manager, does that sound correct? That we're,
Yes, yes.
okay.
I have a question.
after you, Mr.
You awarded a $4.4 million to this company, right?
That's correct.
4.4 to this company.
That's correct. 4 million, right. 4
But you
million,
said something
442.
else. It's only 2.6 for the
There
company.
will be
2.8, I think. he
There
said.
will be a deductive change order where line items 5 and 6 will be removed from their contract.
Okay, why you don't reward a contract for 2.6 and another contract from Miami-Dade County for the 1.2?
Then it wouldn't be eligible to,
To be reimbursed.
But the way it is now, it's like you're gonna pay that contractor, you're gonna buy the water from them, even though they're gonna acquire the water from Miami-Dade County.
this was,
No, not,
no, this is a means of capitalizing a significant cost over the life of the project. It's probably the easiest way I can explain it.
But that money was gonna come from our enterprise fund.
We could have gotten it from the enterprise fund, but it still would have been a cash flow we would have had to make.
Okay, but it's
Because we
coming from,
bill, but remember, we bill for the water we buy now, we bill direct. We bill it directly to our clients, and I guess in this case we would too, but we have the opportunity to capitalize it as part of the project cost.
no, I understand that, but if you have the money available, why will you go and borrow the money at a low interest rate if the money is available in your enterprise fund?
Good question.
I mean, that's an analysis that could be done. This bid, we can look at that as well, but the course that was set out by Public Works at the time was to take advantage of the.
No, I understand. If we didn't have the money, I understand we'll go and borrow the money from the state, from that fund. But since we have the money available, and we have about $40
'Cause we're
million
building, yeah,
in our
we are
enterprise fund,
building. We are
why
building.
will we go and get a loan for that $1.2 million?
Mr.
Huh?
Mayor, go ahead, Councilwoman.
Just-
Go ahead.
Councilman Bianame raises an excellent point. Why would we borrow money and pay interest when we have the money and we're not really getting interest? So that's one question. The other thing is, since the approximate bid was 2.6, and we're backing out 1.2 out of the 4.4, we're still short, or the bid is still over 600,000.
I think it's 2.8. He said 2.8.
It was 2.6, and if you had 1.2, that's 3.8, and they're in at 4.4, so we're about 600,000 over the cost we did the bid at.
Well, again, the estimate that we have for the actual work was $2.6 million. The bids came in, as you can see the numbers there, they came in a little bit higher than that, including the $1.2 million that was added, which we thought would be a good way to capitalize that money over a period of time. So that's the money to purchase the water. And once again, to be clear, we're not purchasing that water from the contractor. That money is going to be taken out. Now, why that format? This is the format that was requested by the state. This is how the state requested that we do it, so that that money would be eligible for the state revolving fund.
I understand that. When you said eligible, it's like we borrow money. It's not just a grant, a free grant. The fund is
correct.
there. We have $38 million that we have a loan from the state. At any time, we can bring a project, and they're going to fund the project. But if we have the money available in our enterprise fund, why will we go and borrow and get that money from a loan with interest?
I'm sorry, Councilwoman, are you finished?
No, I'd like an answer to that question. That's
Okay.
important. And my
Yeah.
thought is
I could
maybe
go,
we
Mr.
should
Mayor?
Yeah, let-
continue
No, they
this
haven't
to get
answered
an
the
answer.
question.
Well, I
Okay,
don't
good.
think they
But the councilman wants to add something to the questions, and maybe we can get
Yeah,
a
we could
global
get a
answer.
question. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, both of my colleagues have made some wonderful points, and this is why I raised this question. And Mr. Manager, this may be clear to you guys as professional, but you got a lot of us up here who are not in your business, and the residents are not. And if we are the steward of the city, and something is this important, because I do think this is important, but it is this confusing. First of all, disregard the state loan or whatever it is, and obviously, clearly, it's we don't even need to go down that route. This should have been an award at $2.6 million. That was the initial. Well, I know you're shaking your head. Can I please finish,
Let
Mr.
the
Attorney?
councilman finish.
Based on, you are the attorney. I'm talking about regular folks who looked at this. If they put out an RFP for 2.6, and then somebody came out and there was an addendum, which I understand, the regular people don't know that, and they're not gonna. Don't tell them they need to go online and do the research. I did not even know about all this, and that's why I say maybe if they had prepped me, I would have been able to educate the residents, because I'm not. And clearly up here, and I know you guys have the answers, we don't, and it's confusing to us. So no matter how administration trying to turn this is not, this is very confusing. And I wish it would have been, if there's an addendum, we said there's an addendum, and this is not going to the contractor, because right now we're voting to give 4 point whatever the amount, up to that amount to the contractor, unless it's clearly state that 1 point something is going to Miami-Dade County, and these people are gonna stay at 2.6. Yeah, it's not, I'm not really feeling this going the right way at all. And
Mr. Mayor, I'll move to continue this to our next meeting in December.
Second that.
But I don't have any problem with that, but I wouldn't mind entertaining further questions and comments, because this is a very hard.
Get all the questions out now.
Yeah, this is a very hard issue. Like you said, this is confusing because it says very clearly that number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 came at 4 point. Whoever won it, 4.4, and the other one is 4.7, and the third one came at 5 million. So, but now we're hearing that the one who actually won the award bid 2.6, right?
No,
No,
they
not
bid
exactly
it
right.
4 point something.
Are
They
you
all
telling
went
me
to
that, another question.
But no, but when they came with their whatever bid that they came up with, what did that 4.4? How much did they say that they would do the job for?
That's a good question now.
There is.
What did they present? Because we don't have
provided
that.
As part of the package that was provided to you, there's an actual breakdown. There's an actual breakdown in your package, and it breaks down exactly the amount that is being set aside for purchase of water, the amount that they bid, and it's all broken down right here.
Again, I know we just went through Thanksgiving. It was a 4-day, 4-day holiday period, and so forth.
Here,
And it's an item of such magnitude should have probably been better presented. Not here, but I guess prior to the meeting, and we wouldn't have had this many questions. So if my colleagues feel that they didn't get enough information to vote on it,
Can I?
Go ahead.
Well, I know you have a question.
Yeah, Mr. Councilman had.
Yeah, but the problem we have is not the $2.6 million. It's two questions. We are rewarding a $4.4 million to this company,
That's correct.
and we have to purchase water from Miami-Dade County.
That's correct.
And why do we have to borrow money for the water when we have the money available at our enterprise fund?
The basic answer to that question is that's just a cash flow management thing. We can look at the cost, and I think our loan will be at like 1% or something like that. Look at the cost relative to our managing our cash flow.
Another question before you go.
Okay.
If we were the contract the way it is, meaning what, the state will write a check for 4.4 to the contractor, and then they're going to issue a check for 1.2 to pay Miami-Dade County.
No, we're getting the money. Matter of fact, at the last meeting, you guys approved for us to go apply for the drawdown. And I think it was 4.5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, $4.5 million. In the packet, and we'll make sure that we're going to table the item, but we'll point it out. There is a revised bid form that breaks down.
We have it.
You have it?
We have it right
Okay,
here.
all right. And I'm just putting on there that breaks down each component of the.
I know, but also,
of the,
Mr. Manager, with that being said, and what the mayor said, in their handwriting, the first item is 150,000, the second one is 3 million, and then we put in the 2.5 million dollars, and then the other 62. So in their total, they wrote 4.4 million. So meaning that they getting that money.
Again.
Once again, Councilman.
Yes, sir.
It's clearly explained, and unfortunately, there's a lot of documents in there, but there were 3 addendums. And the addendums clearly stipulate that that money does not go to the contractor. And in fact, on the contrary, that money is going to be taken out by what's called a deductive change order, taken out for the city to pay directly. Now, in terms of whether the city applies it through the state revolving fund or to the enterprise fund, that's certainly a matter for the city manager to discuss with you all. But clearly, I can tell you, that money does not go to the contractor.
So
Not at all.
if in their handwriting, they written 4 point something, did you have a conversation with them saying that you are written this amount, but you're not getting this amount?
Here's what happens. The bid documents stipulate exactly what happens and the distribution of those monies. And the bid documents, the addendum, clearly state, that if you're going to bid this, you understand that money is not
The
yours.
1.2 is not.
The 1.2 is not going to.
1.2
Yeah, we
is
need to
required.
clarify this, okay.
So,
Okay.
and when we bring the item back, we'll pull out those specific relevant pages, and add it to the executive summary.
So, Mayor, we have a motion and a second on the floor. The motion was made by Vice Mayor Galvin. His motion was to move this item till the next meeting in December, and that motion was seconded by Councilwoman Keys.
With clarification of what
Clarification.
has been discussed on the dais.
Question before we go. Would that give you enough time to get this together?
Yeah.
To all
Yeah,
of
that's
us?
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab E, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to establish the
Bless you.
the Emergency Utilities Assistant Pilot Program as specified in Exhibit A to provide emergency utilities assistance.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry. I tried to hold it in, I just couldn't. I'm gonna start over. Tab E, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to establish the Emergency Utilities Assistant Pilot Program as specified in Exhibit A to provide emergency utility assistance to qualified residents, further authorizing the manager to execute all necessary documents in a form acceptable to the city attorney, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Tab E.
Now, this is second reading, and I know that in the very first reading, this item was, is this first read? No.
No.
Oh, we had that, continued it, okay.
So this is the continued item, and I've had a lot of conversation
This will be
post-meeting.
the first reading.
Well,
It's only one reading.
it's a
Only
resolution.
one because it's a resolution.
Oh,
The clarification was that we put more detail on the record than we did the last time, so I will do so. This is an initiative that was led by Councilman DeSume, but certainly supported by the entire council and the mayor. The purpose of this program is to provide emergency assistance to eligible City of North Miami residents for water only from the utility bill. In cases of eligible city residents who meet certain thresholds, there's a income threshold that is required. This will be a once a year only payment capped at $300 per household per incident, and the program is intended to be seeded initially with $5,000 from the general fund.
And once a year, meaning from October to September.
Right.
Through September.
Once a year through
Our
based on our
fiscal
fiscal year. The mechanics of the program would be such that, and we would follow, the administration would follow up with an actual memorandum or operating agreement with a third-party non-for-profit that would act as the agent over the fund, and they would actually assess the applications and pass those eligible individuals on to the city via a voucher. We would obviously need to come back to council for you to decide which of those third-party organizations we would use, and probably what I'll do is send a communication out to each of you with some recommendations. From that, this is a very positive program. This program is actually, we're replicating a similar program that is used by other utilities, including, City of Tampa, Miami-Dade County, FP&L has a similar fund. So our framework and our process is, I would say, on par with similarly placed emergency programs. So with that, I would ask that you pass the item.
I have a question. Chairman. Oh, you're gonna open it first?
Yeah, this item is now open to the public for anyone who wishes to be heard.
Jim Garrett,
Jim Garrett, 11610 North Bay Shore Drive. I'm in favor of it, but I still see on the Exhibit A, is electricity on here?
That was redacted from the last discussion, so
Okay.
it should have been redacted. But
Okay.
that was a clarification I put on the.
Number two, I still see we have $5,000. Is that $5,000 for the whole budget year? And if it is, we're only helping 16.66 families, like Councilwoman Key said in the last meeting. And then number three, I don't like the Metro Day part of it. I don't trust Metro Day with 1 cent. I don't trust County Hall. I'd rather have an NPO, a nonprofit organization based here in Northeast Dade County than going down to the county and trusting the Community Action Agency.
All right,
That's my points, but I'm in favor of it.
thank you.
Yes, William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. Good evening, everyone. I too am in favor of this initiative. I think it's a very minor gesture, but it's a starting point. It's a pilot program. I'm happy that it references the water usage, but I would like in the future, if it is successful, to also include other utilities and possibly other needs. As I mentioned at the last council meeting, we live in a very good time right now, as the last 9 years have been improving. 9 years, not just this past year, but 9 years or so since the Great Recession. And that's both economically and environmentally. We're very, very fortunate on both accounts. However, at any time, that could change, and most likely will change. I would like the city to take under its wing anything that can make the city more resilient, not just for those who are the least fortunate and most challenged, but I'd like to look at it for those people who may be questioning, who say, oh, I've got mine, I don't need to help anybody else. I'd like to say that actually does, that if we can help those from having some sort of particular dilemma, that has a snowball effect or a rippling effect. And if we want to be actually self-serving to help the benefit of the entire city, we should help those particular distresses that may occur within our city, because they do affect, just like a crime happens. We want to prevent crime, because a single crime on any block, any part of the city, will affect the rest of the city, depending on its magnitude. We want to keep this in check and appreciate everything you can do to create some sort of safety net for the city, for all of the residents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. Anyone wants to be heard? No, I guess not. Members
I have a
of the-
question.
Huh?
Mr. Manager, if we did this just for water, so one of the good things, if we leave this water, we're taking money out of our general fund, and it's going back into the city, correct? My question is,
If you allow me to
Okay.
address one thing. You guys keep saying we're taking money out of the general fund. The whereas clearly says that we're starting the program this one time,
right, 5,000,
5,000.
correct.
That's just so that we can start to build the fund. The fund is intended to be built with donations, voluntary donations. Any of you probably could, well, we'll have to ask that question. You probably donate your campaign funds, there's other sources, and that's the plan on how the fund will continue to grow over time.
Now, I
So the
underst-
one time
Okay,
is,
no, I understand it's a 5,000 distribution from our general fund. Could there be instead a credit in our enterprise fund of 5,000 towards forgiveness?
no, it's not. Our enterprise fund serves for us collecting and operating the utilities,
So when we
period.
forgive any
We do have,
utilities,
we have established via policy certain credits that we do provide. We have one-time, lifetime credit, like other water utilities, pool credits when you
so we're already
you fill
doing
up.
this.
So we do those. Well, those are different types of credits.
Could we put this credit in our enterprise fund as a?
No, because what we're doing is we're building an emergency
Okay.
assistance fund.
Just a
So it would
question.
need to be separate and operated separate away from us. We don't want to be the biller and then the decider at the same time.
I do like the fact that the money that would be going, even if it's the seed money and additional money, would be coming back into the city. That would be a,
And not to complicate the
Win-win.
matter, other jurisdictions, other cities that we research, some of them actually make an annual general fund contribution to their funds.
Okay.
But it's usually small. It's a nominal amount, 5,000, 10,000 as
Okay.
part of the budget.
Thank you.
I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance to fully review all the whereases or the full content of this, but I remember suggesting that any contract that reaches a certain amount, that a certain percentage should go toward that fund. I don't know which amount that you guys want to establish, 200,000, 300,000 contract.
You did ask me that question.
Yeah.
The city council previously passed change to the procurement code that calls for contractors who are
Community
awarded
action plan.
over to a contract of over $250,000
Mhm.
to provide us with a community benefits
Action plan.
Plan.
community benefit, yeah.
One of the elements of one of those contracts could be, they will make a contribution
To this
to
project.
the fund
Okay.
as
Okay.
we negotiate. So it is a possibility. I don't want to say it's not a mandate. It's part of the negotiating.
Yeah, I believe
No,
I'm the
in
one
the
who sponsored,
proposal
that
plan
that
of the
resolution.
community action plan,
Mm.
can,
Mm.
okay. It's gonna be, it's gonna be for only residential accounts. Right?
Correct.
Not to exceed $300 annually.
Well,
One time,
one time in
okay. That's been,
household.
and it's residential accounts. Yes.
All right.
Done.
Mr. Mayor,
Huh?
thank you, Mr. Mayor. I know you asked a wonderful question, and I'm glad, Mr. Manager, you said that we could, I guess, encourage, if that's the right
No,
word.
we're not gonna encourage. We pass the, in the
It's a requirement.
community action
Okay.
plan proposal, this can be a part of
I
it,
like
but
that
you
better.
cannot
Yeah, that's
encourage
it.
that.
Jim, to your point, I was thinking of maybe we ask the Jewish Community Center or the North Miami Senior Foundation in Suntla, one of those, two of those to be, the to help out, because I know Suntla and the Jewish community centers across the street here is just they get the voucher and they come to us and reduce it. Those would be my pick. Thank you.
We need a motion.
Move approval?
Have a motion made by Vice Mayor Galvin to approve tab E. The motion was seconded by Councilman Desiree.
Question?
Question. There is a question.
Did we take out electricity?
Yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's
Okay,
in
'cause
here.
it's still in. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote. Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders to SCG Fields LLC, piggybacking an agreement award pursuant to the National Joint Powers Alliance Sport Turf Contract Number 082114 CTP for the replacement of synthetic turf and track at the North Miami Stadium at a cost not to exceed $961,217 on an annual basis, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm. That's the stadium.
Through the city manager, Derek Walker, Director of Parks and Recreation. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you have with you in your packet and that we provided is a proof of the artificial turf that's at the North Miami Stadium and track. During the hurricane, there was some extensive damage done to our track and our synthetic turf. As you all are aware, as of September 10th, no one has been able to utilize the inside of the track or the artificial turf playfield. This award will allow us to completely repair the artificial turf with a upgrade to the surfacing and some of the drainage issues, and allow us to resurface our track. We have a we have a joint use agreement with Miami-Dade County Schools that allow for 24 high school games, which North Miami High School Pioneers is a home team of that facility. They were unable to play at that facility this year after September 10th. They played at the Cagney Park, which does not have bleachers. We are in favor and hope that you all will support this item so that we can restore our beautiful stadium and get back to some normal formalities on a day-to-day operation. Thank you. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Director. If, Mr. Manager, if you don't have anything to add, we'll take this to the
I
public.
wanted to add one thing. So you, because this was damaged in the hurricane, this is on our FEMA reimbursement list. So we are attempting to get insurance and FEMA reimbursement for this as well. But we're trying to expedite this so we can get the stadium back open. As you know, we have a number of normally scheduled events. Our soccer series every spring and winter. We also are the host site for the Alonzo Mourning Winter Groove again this year, which takes place. So we really need your support on this item.
Thank you. Now this item is open to the public.
Jim Garrett, 11610 North Bayshore Drive. My only question is how long the turf life on this type of turf?
Expected life usage is anywhere from 8 to 10 years. There's an 8-year warranty on the manufacturer's product.
And Mr. Manager, good job on getting that FEMA reimbursement. I think we need to support this 100%. And then once we get the turf issue done, we need to look at the bleachers and maybe go to someone like the Orange Bowl Committee. They've done 4 stadiums in their county. So I think we need to apply to the Orange Bowl Committee for the bleachers replacement and the press box.
Okay.
William Prevotel, 11950 North Bayshore Drive. I'm in support of this as well, and anything we can do to improve our common facilities. My question is, certainly that there is damage that they could not use the facilities at this time, but is there any chance that some of the material, as it's extracted, may or may not be salvageable? But if it is potentially salvageable, might we make it available to other parks in the city or other organizations or nonprofits in the city if there's a chance of salvaging smaller sections? There may be large tears and such, but quite often, if they can take it up, I know it may be the fastening method may be difficult, but if there could, that could be a benefit to our community and not such a financial loss, if possible. Thanks.
The item is still open, but I see no one coming to the mic. We'll take it back here to the dais for further discussions.
I have a question too.
Yeah, Mr. Vice Mayor first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, got a lot of questions on this, and I'll try to go fast. Did we have a usage at the facility this past weekend?
Yes, at the facility, but not inside the track or the field. There was the Diaspora Cup, the annual Diaspora Cup.
All right, I've always understood that to be a soccer event. What's going on? Can you give me more detail? Because if
And you
the
said
event
no.
is...
You said, we did not. You said yes. No.
I'm unclear.
Yeah,
We
yes.
did have an event happening
Vice-
at the stadium.
Vice Mayor, there was an event, Diaspora Cup. You're absolutely right. There's normally soccer played along with a small concert. There was no soccer played this year. There was a concert held at the stadium on Sunday.
Contractually, what is our agreement with them that when they will cut off the noise? Sunday nights are school nights, and I know this comes up every year, and every year I'm back making the same complaint. I could hear the concert on Sunday night from my house, which is on the other side of Biscayne Boulevard and approximately 1.5 miles south. So if I can hear it, residents nearer to that can hear it. When are they supposed to turn off the music for these concerts?
The city noise ordinance is 11 o'clock. We pull the plug at 10:35 on Sunday.
Okay, that's when I was texting you guys and
Yes,
exactly
sir.
when I heard it go off. So next, how many weeks consecutively is this expected to run?
For Diaspora, it was only
It's only one.
one Sunday, which was this Sunday.
Okay. Do we have any other contracted concerts for that field coming up in the near future?
There is Haiti Cup that begins in March, and it runs for 10 or 12 consecutive weeks.
All right, I'd like
I
to have
don't
a-
have it in front of me, sir, so I don't want
Sure.
to give
No,
you the
I just
wrong
like
answer.
that. My continuing concern is just the volume of the concerts that are held, and if I'm hearing them that far away, that's the only reason I knew that there was an event happening. I could hear it at my house. So if, again, if you had children who had to get up the next morning to take tests, and you lived in the Oaks condos or whatever they're called, I think we owe it to them to be mindful of that. Now, my question's about the actual stadium itself. We need to do a much better job of communicating what's going on there. I hope that we can put together some ongoing PR information about why it's closed, when it's closed, what's happening, and when people can expect things to be reopened. We've got a variety of social media and web channels we could put that out on, so I'd hope that we would do that. Because as you know from the complaints I got this week, I had two coincidentally, and both of them thought that we were just being lazy and not reopening it after the storm. And that was the impression they got as athletes who come. Beyond the repair of the field, which I'm certainly in favor of, when are we going to fix those nasty bathrooms and redo the concession stands? Is that anywhere in the...
Well, the answer is yes, it's on the capital list of projects that we've been circulating in our town hall meetings. We plan on bringing an item to address the bleachers at the. I'm trying to get it for the next meeting. So you know the necessary minimum things first. Mr. Garrett brought up a great point. Actually, I have a very great relationship with the Orange Bowl Committee, and actually called President Eric Palms to ask him to include us in the next cycle, our stadium in the next cycle. Unfortunately, their next field, they plan on going to West Palm, but we did send them all of the details for North Miami. They like the site. They know where it is, where it's centrally located, and all of the high school football. So I'm hopeful, not to say that we have to wait that long, that we'll get into the next year's funding cycle with them. And then beyond that, you know, we just have to plan for it ourselves, you know, via bond, via pay-as-you-go, whatever sources that we can. But it is on our list. I wish I could tell you it'll be done tomorrow, but we need to generate the capital.
So for the bleachers, we would hope that the Orange Bowl Committee might be able to act
No.
18-19.
Well, no. What we're gonna have to do something for the bleachers because they're just unsafe.
Right, they're
So we
unsafe.
got to do
They've
that
been
now.
unsafe.
What we do with the Orange Bowl is what they do is they partner up with the municipality and they go in and they provide a 50% or 80% contribution and they redo the entire stadium. So they'll do new bleachers, scoreboards, bathrooms, concessions, and the field. Obviously, they want their logo as part of it on the field. When I was at the City of Miami, we were able to do Moore Park, which you see right there off 36th Street, and we were able to take advantage because we had to. Like in this case, we had to invest money into our facility anyways, so we were able to work it out. But you know, right now, I'm trying to get the stadium minimally open and minimally safe, so that people can use the stands. And you know, we started with the field first because you could bring in temporary stands, you know, around in some of the other areas, so that you can get some people sitting. But the hope is to field stands right now, and then we'll work on a timeline for the rest of the facility.
Okay. On the Orange Bowl Committee partnership, the theoretical partnership, the earliest that they might be able to take action would be?
It'd probably be like a 18-19 time, you know.
Okay.
So you're talking about a 19-20 build time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Currently, the stands on the west side of the stadium are the ones that I understand are the least safe. Are the ones on the east side of the stadium nearest Alonzo Mourning High School also unsafe, or less unsafe, or they're okay? Like,
Through the city manager to mayor and council and vice mayor, the west end where the scoreboard is has the most significant damage. On the east side, there is less damage, but both are damaged. So if you're asking apples versus oranges, yes, the west is a little more damaged than the east side.
Steve Pizzola, building official. Mr. Corker asked me to come out and take a look at the
I think your
stand.
mic is off. Huh?
I was asked to go take a look at the stands. I actually brought out a structural engineer that also looked at it. There are some sections in the good areas that are really bad. So it's like, it's not like you could say that that one side's better than the other. Because on the east side, there are some main structural members that need to be replaced, where on the west side, it's not. So it's throughout. It's just rust and cancer throughout all the steel in it.
So if we approve this plan this evening, when this field opens, when would this field be completed for use?
We have the contractors here, SCG Fields. They have an estimated timetable, and then we will be providing that to the city manager for mayor and council, a 4 to 6 week turnaround. We're hopeful that we can be before January 13th. It's on a fast track. They have their entire crew here, and they're ready and willing to get us the product that we need. This would include the field. After the field, it will come back to the track. They understand that we do have Alonzo Mourning Winter Groove on the 13th of January, so it's imperative that we get the field repaired before the event.
And would that field then be open again to Alonzo Mourning High School for their PE usage?
Absolutely. The field would be, not the bleachers.
Right, not the bleachers, but the field, the
Correct.
track kind of thing. So
Correct.
that's what's, okay. And then the theory would be for the groove, for Zoe's Groove, we would use some sort of temporary bleachers for that event.
Yeah, I've met with them directly. I know the staff's been working with them, but I met with their executive director, Bill Diggs. They're willing to bring in stands themselves. They need the field. They provide basically a 6-hour free football clinic on the field. That's why they need the field available. They roll out a stand. So the rest of the activities go, around the field, but the field utilization is for the football camp, free football camp.
And it would be good at that point too, I know I'm giving you more work to do, but if we had some sort of signage that said why, bleachers under construction,
I got you.
new bleachers coming soon, because everybody at Zoe's Groove is gonna go, why are we sending these little rinky-dink things? Why can't we just go sit up there and think that the city again is
We
not?
will not be letting them. If they're not done, they will not be going.
Right, no, I know you'll have people try to go sit and you'll run them away, but so that people understand we're improving and renovating the stadium. Right now, we are our worst enemy in some cases because we just can't communicate to the public the good things that we're doing. We get so caught up in our own little circles that we don't bother to tell people what's happening. So when people come to the Groove in January and the bleachers are shut down, if there are signs that saying new bleachers coming soon, please stay off or something, they'll understand, okay, new bleachers are coming, that's fine.
And we can do that signage. That's not a problem.
I think that's all I've got, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
I have a question.